President Mnangagwa also indicated that Zimbabwe will adopt a mono currency once the ZiG, which was introduced in April this year, is available countrywide in all denominations. The country is under a multi-currency system that will run its course until 2030.
Biden atidi imwe moda mari ya Biden. Zvinofamba izvozvo. Azvifambika. Yeah. Saka istikuse ZANU-PF. Hatingati toramba chimhanya nemari yevanhu vasingatidi. Vane zuva ravangangoita zvavanganoita tikashazvo kuita. Saka tava neZiG, Zimbabwe gold currency yedu yatiri kusumudza. Munonzwa pa TV yedu pa ZiG yedu, ZiG 1, ZiG 2. Makazvonaka imari yedu yoyo ndiyo yatakusumudzira kuti in 2 years muno in fact 2 years kure tichasvika pokuti kana ndavona henyu kuti aiwa ZiG yapinda kose kose, makoini yapinda kose kose, mari dukwane change yapinda kose kose, ndozoti naiwa nguva yasvika yekuti nyika ino yakungoshandisa ZiG. Tichasvika ipapo. Kana ukaenda kuchitoro una ma-US vokurambira. Vatanga vanga vachipiwa ma-US dollars zvichapera. Munenge makupiwa ma-ZiG in 2 months time. Hapana US nenge kupiwa pana. Tenda kupiwa ma-ZiG. Wazvona? Saka ndoyenyika yedu ndo zvatiri kusumudzira. Hatingarambi tichiti munhu asingatidi.
Business Weekly news editor Golden Sibanda joins us live from the newsroom to look at how the ZiG has been performing so far since its introduction in April this year. Good evening, Golden. Now, what fundamentals need to be in place for Zimbabwe to transition to a monocurrency smoothly?
Thank you. So there are a number of fundamentals that Zimbabwe needs to address in order to have a stable monocurrency and assume a local currency. But I think some of the key fundamentals that the country needs to work on is to include reducing imports, because from where I stand, the dependence on imports is one of the problems that the country is facing, which is also presenting challenges in terms of having a stable local currency, in the sense that dependence on imports, as the name suggests, means you require a lot of forex, and the huge demand for forex creates pressure on the local currency. So if we are going to have a stable local currency, we need to capacitate our local industries to produce so that we reduce the dependence on imports, and it follows that we also then cut the amount of foreign currency that we require in order to bring those imports. In an economy where there is limited supply or availability of foreign currency, you end up with a situation that demand for forex outstripping the supply, thereby creating pressure that causes instability.
Right. Now, the ZiG has been stable since April. What do you attribute this stability to? I think I would attribute that to measures that the central bank has instituted in terms of maintaining a tight monetary policy stance, because in the past, I think we were made to understand that excess liquidity in the market, chasing too little foreign currency, was one of the key issues that was driving the volatility of the local currency. But now that the new central bank governor has consistently affirmed his commitment to making sure that there is tight respect, tight monetary policy and respect for money supply that is only based on the amount of or value of precious metals and foreign currency reserves in the bank's reserves, has made sure that we continue to actually see the stability that we have. In some point in time, we had deflation. So I think discipline within the monetary policy administration has actually been key in making sure that we've prolonged stability in the local currency.
Right. Do you see the recent pronouncements by Finance Minister Mthuli Ncube around tax helping in increasing appetite for the local currency and further strengthening it?
Yeah, so speaking about the recent pronouncements by the Minister of Finance in terms of how taxes will be paid, for now, because there were provisions that allowed companies to meet their tax obligations in the currency of trade. So because those provisions were actually put in place by an Act of Parliament, they required that the Minister of Finance goes back to Parliament to seek approval. But in terms of going forward, the Ministry has plans to make sure that there is increased or a higher threshold of taxes that are paid in local currency. And I do believe those plans will actually result in increased appetite for ZiG. Everyone will be looking for ZiG, given that duties and other customs obligations, charges, levies, tariffs paid to the government would have to be paid in local currency. That will increase the demand for local currency, and that will actually result in the local currency appreciating because everyone will be looking for the local currency in order to be able to pay that. In other countries, that is what happens. You've got to pay most of your taxes, duties, and charges to government departments in the local currency, which increases its appeal to those that then will be using that currency in that jurisdiction.
Konapo, ipapo pa ZTN Prime, DSTV channel 294, the place to be.